introductions today and get right into it because I have a lot to bring to you. So for project one, we're making a USA block set. For this project, you'll need some Waverly Antique Wax, some Waverly Chalk Paint White, Mod Podge, couple paint sponges, cups, rulers, X-Acto knife, a little piece of wooden square, any size. You're going to cut three 2-inch pieces, some beads, some wooden blocks I bought from Amazon, and this is scrap paper I purchased from Hobby Lobby. I did the red, white, the blue, white, and the stars. And then you're going to need some stickers or your Cricut or whatever you want to use. I'm going to start out with my Waverly chalk paint in white. And I put my beads in the cup. I'll leave you've seen me do this before. I'll leave the link in the card above so you can see what I do. I just put the beads in the cup and add a little bit of paint. And then I shake them all up, and this is my way of painting beads where I don't get my hands dirty, and you can just get a bunch of beads done quick. So you're going to shake those up until they're all coated with paint. And then once you get them all coated with paint, you're going to dump them out on a paper towel, and then you're just going to blot them because you don't want any extra paint on those beads. Then now I'm just getting out my stickers, and I'm going to spell out USA, and I'm going to paint those white, and I ended up giving them 2 coats of paint to cover up the black. Then I'm going to take my little square piece that's 6 inches long, and I'm not sure how wide it is, but I'm going to make 3 2-inch cuts. And I'm just scoring it with my X-Acto knife so I know where to cut. I don't know where I got this little piece of wood, but it was easy to cut through with the X-Acto knife, so it's just like a particle board or something. And then you should just, once you score it, you should just be able to snap it in half and then just trim off all the extra. Because you're not going to see this anyway. This is just a scrap piece. You're going to cover it up with scrap paper. Just going to trace around it to cut out the right size scrap paper you need. And I'm using the stars, the red and white, and the blue and white because I want each piece to be different. And you're going to make 2 cuts because you want to cover up the front and the back. Yes, we know. You take the piece of wood, you put it on the scrap paper, you cut it out. I don't know why I was showing you what to do on that 3rd piece after we'd already done 2, but you know. And then you're going to do the same with your blocks. You want each block to be a different design. So, and you're going to, these blocks kind of gave me fits. I don't know why I find it so hard to wrap a square block, but today, or at this time, I found it hard to do. So you just want to wrap it like a present and then cut off all the excess paper. Then once you have that done, you're just going to Mod Podge the paper and Mod Podge it all on there, stick it on there, wrap it up, Mod Podge it some more. Just make it look neat and nice. And you're going to Mod Podge the paper onto the 2-inch squares we cut. Both sides. Here's where I realized that I only cut out one piece of paper, so I'm now cutting out 2. This happens to me during my process. I'm sure you guys are thinking, well, why didn't she cut out 2? Well, she cut out the first one, and it's just, I don't know, to be honest. I have no idea why I do the things the way I do them. You want to make sure you use plenty of Mod Podge to put these on with. Hey, look there. Once you have them all Mod Podged, then you're just going to sand off the extra paper. Plus, I wanted to get that rough edge look on these, so I sanded the top, the sides, and I just wanted them to kind of look aged and old. And I didn't want them to be so shiny and bright. The sanding also helped get all the extra paper off the edge. And then once you have 2 coats of paint on your USA stickers, you're just going to peel them up and you're going to put them on the 2-inch pieces we cut. These are repositional stickers, so they were easy to put on there and paint and then peel them off. And they don't have to be perfect because you want it to look like it's the Rustic Farmhouse. But if you prefer perfection, then take your time doing this. I didn't want them to be perfect, so I just slapped them on there. And then you want to goop some Mod Podge on those so that they'll stick. Make sure you get the edges. And then you do the same with the other 2 pieces. And then once the Mod Podge is dry, you're going to take your Waverly wax, and I'm just going to go around the edges to make it look like it's been weathered. Old, like they've been sitting around for years. Plus it's going to cover up kind of the wood that you can still see through on the edges there. And I'm just going to go over the face with it, just dry brush it on there. Because I don't want as much on the face of them as I do on the edges. And you also want to do the squares the same way. And then once you have those done, don't forget to distress your beads. I know I could have probably put these together and then distressed them, but I found this to be easier. And then once you got your beads dried, you're going to attach a bead to one of your blocks using your hot glue. Make sure it's on there nice and good. And what I did is I put the folds where nobody's going to see them, like when I wrapped them as a present, so nobody's going to see the actual fold. So I used the smooth tops for these. That makes sense? You're not going to see where I wrapped it up like a present. And then you're going to take one of your letters and attach it to the bead with some hot glue. And then you're going to top it with another bead. These are just kind of like accent beads. I mean, you really don't have to do the beads if you don't want to. I just thought it kind of made it look a little more put together. And then you're going to do that with all of them. You want to also make sure that when you put both beads on that they're lined up. And I don't know why I was moving in slow motion there. And then there you have it, USA block set. Now for our next project, we're doing Star Spangled Fireworks. And I really love this stuff. You're going to need some color wash tint or just like some brown paint, whatever. But this stuff has like these little sparkles in it, and it's beautiful when it's on wood. 3 stars, 3 wooden stars I purchased from Amazon. 3 containers from the Dollar Tree, some jute cord, and then of course your Hobby Lobby scrapbook paper. And I'm going to start out and I'm going to paint the 3 stars that I have with this color wash tint. This stuff is amazing. I love this stuff. I purchased it from Hobby Lobby when I did another project a while back. And this kind of just gives it like this bronzed, like this shiny bronzed look. You can turn wood into metal. I mean, it just looks like it's metallic. I really love it. So I'm going to give my stars a good coat of this wash here. I don't know. And then I'm going to take all these containers apart that I bought from the Dollar Tree. Just going to take the lids off. And then empty out the little silica packets that come in these things. And I'm going to measure out my scrapbooking paper. to see, this is just to make sure I have enough because I wasn't quite sure. Now on this one, I want the stripes going horizontally. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. And now I'm just going to measure the length of it so I know where to make my cut on my scrapbook paper. I'm still cutting. Holy crap, that's a slow cut. And then I'm going to use hot glue. You can use Mod Podge, Eileen's tacky glue. I didn't have any of that stuff. You can use double-sided tape. I had hot glue and it worked, so. And then I'm just rolling it up, make sure it's all covered. That one's done. Now we're moving on to the next one, and this one I want the lines going vertically. Again, just use hot glue, wrap it around the container. Now this one, my scrapbook paper wasn't wide enough or long enough for this because this container was a little wider than the other two. So you'll see me, I have to improvise here. So it wasn't long enough there, so I ended up putting in a scrap sheet, and I just lined up the lines so you couldn't really tell where it was at, where I had to glue in that extra piece. Yeah, I was burning the crap out of my fingers doing this. You would think I would get me some of those silicone. I do have them. I actually have the finger protectors. I just don't use them. So now I'm going to measure out the lids, and all I want to do is get the part of the lid that's when you put it on. You know, I'm getting the top of the lids, around the lids. I'm putting it around the top of the lid. How about that? It's the same, I'm doing the wide one and there's just not enough, so I'm going to have to improvise and put another piece in there to make sure it's all covered. And you can see I'm just putting it around the rim of the lid. There we go. I finally got it out. The rim of the lid. And then I'm just getting me an extra piece there to cover up what I was short. This is all going to be in the back too, so it's not going to be seen. And I didn't really want to make any of this stuff too permanent. It's all just going to be temporary for this 4th of July because I will use this stuff again for other projects. That's just the way I roll. I like to recycle and reuse until I can't recycle and reuse no more. And then it was at this point where I realized I probably should have painted the lids first, because you're going to be able to see the red, the gold, and the pink. So I went through and I painted them with my Waverly chalk paint on white, and I gave them 2 good coats so that none of that stuff would shine through. Yeah, I didn't realize that until after I started putting the scrapbook paper on, and then I thought, well, I should have painted the lids first. And then I'm going back to measuring the amount of scrapbook paper I need for the rim of the lids here. And then once you have that done, you're just going to pop the lids back onto the container. First, I'm sanding off extra paper. Plus, I want it to look kind of rough. Like I said, we're going for the rustic farmhouse, so roughing it up. And then you can see you've got the red, white, and blue. And I'm also roughing up the outside to take some of that shine away from the red. And then I decided to take my Waverly ink paint, and since these are actually fireworks, I just thought I'd give it like the smoky black look. And yeah, I realized that my paint sponge still had some white paint on it that was still soaked in there. But I mean, I like the way it turned out, so just making it look like it's been burnt. It's got powder on it from the fireworks shell. And then you just want to sand and do this to all 3 of them, make them look cohesive. And can I sand any slower? Hey, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you guys like my videos sped up or if you'd rather have the footage cut out. I don't know. I kind of been, when I watch videos and I see a lot of it sped up, I don't know. Sometimes I find myself clicking through it, but I'm wondering if I just cut out some of the video, if you guys would rather see it that way. Just leave me a comment, let me know what your preference is. Do you want the video sped up, or do you want it cut out? And then I'm going to take that nautical rope that I had, and I'm going to cut it into 3 equal pieces. And I'm going to hot glue each piece on top of the containers. I'm going to attach the stars to the one end. So you want a star for each piece of nautical rope, and you're just going to hot glue it on there. And then you're going to hot glue the nautical rope onto the fireworks shell. And like I said, you're going to do that to all 3 pieces. Then once you have all 3 pieces done, I'm taking my jute twine and I'm just going to wrap it around 2 or 3 times, and I want them tied together. And I'm making a very floppy, like shoestring tie. I don't want it to be a beautiful, perfect little bow. I just want it to look like they've been tied together with a piece of string. And there you have your red, white, and blue fireworks shell. And you can kind of see the sparkle from that wash. I love that stuff. That's my favorite stuff to use. So for our next project, we're doing 3 star stands. Easy peasy. You just need 6 wooden stars, 6 of the tumbling tower blocks, 1 dowel rod, some paintbrushes. I don't know why the clip's in the video, you're not going to use it. Some sandpaper, and then you need your paint in red, white, blue, and then I'm also using Waverly chalk paint ink because that's the color I want the stand to be. And you're going to see me pour way too much ink paint in here, and I don't know why I thought I needed a paint tray to do this, but apparently at that time I thought I needed a paint tray. And then you're going to paint each block black, the entire block. So you're going to paint all 8 blocks black. And this only required 1 coat. See, like here, would you rather see me just paint 1 block and then cut to all of them done painting, or do you like watching me actually paint in full speed? Leave a comment down below, let me know. And then I'm also going to paint the dowel rod black. See, the clip was there because I thought I was going to be all creative and genius-like and use the clip to hold the dowel rod so I wouldn't get my fingers black. But that didn't work. So I got my fingers all black and painted. You're going to take your Waverly chalk paint and crimson, the color red I use. You can use any color red you want, but that's what I have been using for all my patriotic decor. And I'm going to paint 2 of the stars the red, front and back of both stars. Now for this project, you don't have to use 2 stars for each stand, but I wanted more of a dimensional look. I mean, you could just use the 1 star attached to a dowel rod if nobody's going to see the back, but I kind of wanted that dimensional look, so that's why I'm using 2 stars per dowel rod. Then my nautical blue paint for my other 2 stars. I purchased these stars off Amazon. They sent me a big bag of different size stars. I'll leave the link in the comment below. then I'm covering up my surface because it was still wet with paint so that I could paint my other 2 stars white. I didn't want the red or the blue or the black that I just used to get all over my star, so that's why I laid the paper towel down. And I only gave each one of these stars just 1 coat of paint. I mean, they didn't really need any more. That would really soak in the paint, so they only need 1 coat. And then you're going to take the 12-inch dowel rod and you're going to cut it into 3 pieces. You're going to need 1 piece at 3 inches, 1 piece at 4 inches, and 1 piece at 5 inches. Just because I want them all different heights. I mean, if you want to cut it into 3 4-inch pieces and you want them all the same height, you could do that. Or I want all 3 stars to be set at different heights. So, and I'm just cutting it with my X-Acto knife. And I got a little bit of paint on that one, but you're not going to see it when I put it together. And then I'm just gluing on the dowel rod first. Don't know why. And then I put the star onto the dowel rod. But my first mistake was I glued the dowel rod to the back of the stand and I realized that was too much weight for the stand. So you'll see me here take it apart, and then I just ended up gluing the star and the dowel rod on top of the 2 building block pieces we painted. It kept wanting to tip over, so that didn't work out. So now I'm just gluing it to the middle of the towering block pieces, and then you see me glue the 2 stars onto the dowel rod. Just make sure you get them lined up. And then because of the ugly glue, I decided to wrap the bottom around with some jute twine, plus to kind of just, I don't know, make it look a little more rustic. And you're going to do the same to the other 2 stars. Here, look, I actually got a little smarter and put the dowel rod on first before I glued the star, but then I glued the star on after I did the dowel rod. So, when do I wise up? Oh, ding ding ding, right here. Hey Sarah, let's put the dowel rod on the stars first, right? And then put the dowel rod on the blocks. Doesn't that make it much easier? Yeah, this day, I was doing this craft on a day that just, my mind wasn't where it should have been, apparently. And I was very glad the blue paint on my fingers was dried, because, you know, after all that I went through to make sure that white star stayed white. If blue paint would have come off my hands, I probably would have thrown the thing. Yeah, look how much easier this was to do, and much faster. So, do as I say, don't do as I do. You first sand the stars before you put them on the dowel rod, okay? And then you put the stars on the dowel rod, then put them on the stand. So for project 3, we're doing 4th of July box display. You're going to need these gift boxes that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. It's a set of 3 gift boxes. And then I found these die cut numbers in the teacher section of the Dollar Tree. You're just going to need the number 4 out of this pack. Some Mod Podge, my white, red, and blue paint I've been using. 3 stars from the pack of stars I purchased from Amazon. Some paint brushes, some sandpaper, some hot glue. And I'm going to take my Waverly white paint and I'm going to start painting my stars. So I'm having a red star, white star, blue star. And I painted both sides, and I only gave them each 1 coat of paint. Are painted, you're going to take your jewelry boxes and you're going to empty out all the like it comes with some like foam to lay your jewelry on or whatever. Take all that out, and I'm only using the top pieces, so I'm only using the lids for this project. Bottom pieces will be used for another project, so nothing's going to waste. And then I'm taking my star scrapbook paper and I'm just measuring how much I need to be able to cover the box. And I'm using the smaller jewelry box with the white and blue scrapbook paper. And then I'm just cutting my little slits in there so the paper will fit on the box better. And you're just going to hot glue the paper down on the box. And then once you have that all glued down, just cut off the scrap paper. You know, if a person was smart, they probably would have measured out the paper to the size of the box instead of having to hack it all off. But, you know, Like I said, on this day, my head was in the clouds somewhere else. And you just fold the ends down like a present. I didn't do the bottom because nobody's going to see that, so. And there's the smaller box done. Now I'm going to take the longer jewelry box and I'm going to use this wood grain scrapbook paper that I bought from Hobby Lobby. I love this design. It's such a cute paper. And again, I'm making my slits so the paper will fold in better. Look, I'm actually cutting it off here. And I'm using hot glue. You can use double-sided tape, Mod Podge, whatever you want. Did I just say wood glue? I'm using hot glue. If I said wood glue, no, I'm not using wood glue. But yeah, I'm using hot glue because it's just what I had on hand. And then you want to do your bigger square box lid. And again, get technical and measure it, or you can just wing it like I did. And then you just fold the ends in again like a present. You can also do this with wooden pieces. I didn't have any wooden pieces, and I seen these jewelry gift boxes in the Dollar Tree, so that's why I got these. I thought these would be perfect for it. And then you're going to paint that number 4 white. Now, I did have to give this 2 coats of paint because the yellow was wanting to show through from the number. And then I cut me off a little square of the star scrapbook paper to place on my red-white box that I covered because I want it to look like a flag. So I just cut me off a little square of it. I'm just going to glue that right there. And then you're going to use your stickers to spell out of July. And I was going to use my ruler trick on this, and then I realized that my letters were almost too big for this. So I had to kind of maneuver them onto the box by hand myself. You'll see me trying to get them all to fit, and I actually had to cut some of the Y off to get it to fit. But got it there, so probably won't be able to use the ruler trick for this unless you have smaller letters you want to use. And I put the of July on the longer box. And then I'm going to Mod Podge those on there so I don't have to worry about them coming off. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You'll be notified of all my uploads. And if you subscribe, you'll get to see more wonderful technical, stuff like this, so you won't miss out on this stuff, right? Subscribe. And then I'm taking the number 4 and I'm putting it on that first box we did, and I just Mod Podge that 4 on there. And then I tried to paint T8 by the 4, and no, it wasn't happening for me. So I ended up having to write it in with dark pen, which I like the way it actually came out. So I wanted to say 4th. And then of course after I Mod Podged, I decided to go back and sand because I thought the July was too bright and I wanted it to look a little rougher. So I'm sanding over of July and then dulling down the color on the scrapbook paper. Then I'm also going to sand down my stars because I want some of that wood to kind of show through on the edges. So I want that sanded down to kind of look a little rougher. And like I said, I didn't want the color as bright on each of these. And then now here comes the fun part. We get to put this together. I actually really enjoyed doing this project. I had fun. So I'm going to glue the longer piece to the 4th piece. And then I'm going to glue the red star up above the 4. You'll have to hold it there for a while or it's going to fall over. And then I'm taking the flag and I'm putting it on top of July next to the red star. And you're going to hot glue that down nice and good. And then I'm going to take the blue star to put on top of the flag. And then I'm going to make the white star look like it's falling off. So I'm going to put it just right there on the edge. Yeah, you can see I'm putting the hot glue right there in the corner of the star, and I'm just going to set it right there on the edge. And there's our 4th of July box set in all of its glory. So for our last project, we are doing an America surfboard. Surf's up, dude. And I'm using this Hello Summer sign from Dollar Tree where I scraped all the glitter off already. Some Dollar Tree stickers, or you could use your Cricut, whatever you have. I'm using the tint wash again and my chalk paint in blue, Mod Podge, scissors, ruler, paper, and this is the paper I'm using. I want to use the wood grain for this. And now I'm just measuring out my shape I need from the paper. Now here you see me take the other piece of paper so I can measure out the end, which you'll see why I didn't really need to do this step because I don't know what I was thinking. Again, this video I wasn't thinking clearly. Because you're going to use the blue and white star paper because you're making a flag out of this. So you don't need that second piece of the red, white, and blue paper. You don't need it because you're just going to put the star on top of it, but you'll see what I did. And then just going to Mod Podge that on there. I didn't need that smaller piece of the red, white, and blue paper. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice a little. I have sleep apnea, so whenever I get up, my throat's real dry. And it makes me sound hoarse and terrible, and it doesn't go away. But I'm attaching that other piece of paper there, which again, you don't need, because you're going to take this star paper, because you want to make a flag out of this, so you're going to measure out the end of it there, what you'll need. And I'm going to Mod Podge that on there. And then I'm taking my color wash tint and I'm going to paint my 4 tower tumbling blocks. Is it tumbling tower blocks? How many times can I say that backwards? And I'm just going to give these one, I'm just going to give them one good coat of the wash. Sparkly! Then while those are drying, I'm going to get me a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to spell out the word America with my stickers. America. And here's where I made my first mistake. I decided to paint them blue. I really wish I'd painted them white or red because the blue didn't really stand out on my surfboard. So, yeah, if you just want to, I wouldn't paint them blue. They don't stand out very well. So maybe try red or white, or leave them black even. And then I just put them on my ruler so I can get them straight, and I'm measuring the distance there with a paintbrush. No rulers in this house or tape measures. Just use the ruler to get my stickers straight. And then I'm just gonna get them on there so I can slide the ruler off. So you'll see whenever they're on there, I kind of wish I'd used a white or red. Then you're just going to take some Mod Podge and Mod Podge over those babies so they'll stick for good. Then once those are dry, I decided that since the blue letters weren't really standing out to me, I decided to get my Waverly chalk paint white, and I'm going to distress those letters with white, just so that maybe they'll stand out a little more, which I don't know if this helped or made it worse, but if you paint them red or white, I mean, I think you wouldn't have to do this step, but I like the way it turned out. Then you're going to take your tower tumbling blocks or tumbling tower blocks, whatever you want to call them, and you're going to glue them. So we're making a little surfboard stand. So I'm just measuring it up, and then I'm going to hot glue both of those on there so that this little piece will stand on its own. There you have it, our America surfboard. So here's my tablescape, everything I have put together. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of all my future uploads. And I wish everybody a happy 4th of July, and stay tuned for my next video where I'll bring more 4th of July decor for you. Thanks for watching, and you all have a great day. Bye!